What's going on, you guys? This is Alden01 of the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you guys another Division 2 build video. And with this build video I'm going to be giving you guys is going to be a hard-hitting crit build, mainly catered to both the LMG and the rifle, because you're going to be using the LMG gloves and a rifle knee pads. But regardless, those are still two of the strongest weapons in the game. You can still technically run an AR on this build if you wanted to, or an SMG, but realistically this would benefit the most towards the LMGs and the rifles. But this build honestly is a very powerful build. Even if you were to go to the DZ just to farm, and if someone decides to go rogue, it takes 3 taps to kill them, which is really nice. But this is not a PvP build, this is strictly a PvE build only. Very glass cannon like, a very generic type of PvE hard-hitting a crit build, or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So just an overview of the build alone, I am running the sharpshooter just because the bonuses you get from sharpshooter benefits you the most out of every other class. Sitting in cover gives you bonus armor, you also get marksman rifle ammo over time, and you know, it's just, you also get that extra stability, which is really good. But overall, I mean, you can technically run any subclass that you like or specialist, but for me, I personally like the sharpshooter the most when it comes to these type of builds. So for the first weapon I'm using is the Baker's Dozen. You have the Baker's Dozen and the regular M1A, the classic M1A. Baker's Dozen gives you perfect Lucky Shot, but if you don't have this one, then you could just get an M1A with Lucky Shot or Boomerang, both being really good. And make sure you have damage to armor on the attributes or crit chance. Good Times or an M60 works really well. You can also run an MG5 with Strained on it or Fast Hands. Either of them are really nice. Good Times gives you perfect fast hands. And then the mask I'm running is the Coyote's Mask. The Coyote's Mask is really good for yourself and your team. It gives you a crit damage increase if you're within 15 meters, and a crit chance increase when you're within 25 meters or more, and in between crit chance and crit damage increase. Really good for you and your allies. For the backpack, I'm running the Sheska Viroba backpack. The only reason why I'm running this is because it has pretty good stats and it has vigilance, and I just re-rolled the mod slot with red. Realistically, you want a Providence Defense backpack though. The chest piece I'm running is the Providence Defense chest piece with perfect glass cannon. So if you had 2 pieces, you want to get the chest and the backpack, so that way you get the crit chance. You won't need to run that Cheska backpack then. And then for the gloves, I am currently running the Contractor's Gloves, which gives you 10% LMG damage, which is nothing to worry about, but it gives you 11% damage to armor, which is multiplicative, and then either roll crit chance or crit damage on your attributes. And then for my holster, I'm running the Grupo holster, and this will give you a 15% crit damage increase. Really good when it comes to a crit build, obviously, so I would highly recommend having this holster. And then the last piece is going to be the Overlord's knee pads, which is going to be the Fox's Prayer. The Fox's Prayer is going to give you a 10% rifle damage, but mainly that 15% damage to enemies out of target, or targets out of cover, is really useful. Very important because it's also multiplicative. So you're going to be running a Revive Hive because you might end up going down, if you, or more than likely you will. If you're running Glass Cannon or really any DPS builds, you're not really a support, so it doesn't really matter. And then for my secondary skill, I run the Decoy. The reason why is just because it's a nice way to draw the aggro from the enemies away from you. So you just throw it in the opposite direction, they start shooting that, and you can just pick them off with your rifle. And then as you can see, my crit chance is at 51.4% and 117.9% on my crit damage on my M1A. It's not the best, it's not where I want it to necessarily be at just yet. I do want to get to around 120-130% crit damage, but this is pretty good. So the other talents you can run on your chest is Trauma, which applies blind to enemies when you hit them in the head, and Bleed when you hit them in the chest. You want to use Trauma pairing it up with the talent called Wicked on your backpack. So Wicked, applying a status effect, increases total weapon damage by 18% for 20 seconds. So you get Trauma and Wicked, and that is a very good, I guess, synergized talent right there. Now the next difference that you can go with is Overwatch. After staying in cover for 10 seconds, increases you and your allies' weapon and skill damage by 12% as long as you remain in cover or in cover to cover move. So this is going to be a really nice buff. You can run that as well as Composure, because they're basically doing the same thing. Composure automatically gives you that 15% weapon damage increase as long as you go into cover. It doesn't benefit your team, but you get a nice buff for that. And then the last thing you can also go with, which doesn't really have to synergize with anything else, is Companion. Companion, when you're within 5 meters of an ally or a skill, you automatically get a 15% weapon damage increase. And then another one is Unstoppable Force. Unstoppable Force is a really good one because you can get up to 25% weapon damage in total. But that's pretty much it with this video. If this helps you out, go and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section. I will try my best to help you guys out as best of my ability. I know I kind of went through all this pretty quick. I just wanted to make sure you guys got it and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section. If you have any suggestions on builds that you would like to see, or things that you think that would make this build any better than what it is already, because I can definitely see more improvements for this build in general. But yeah, if you see that this build or any other builds you want to see, let me know down in the comment section. This is all day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and enjoy the rest of the clip.
Vital signs critical. Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent incapacitated.